Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It is so wonderful to gather with you all on this Shabbat as we welcome in this time of peace, this sacred space in time where we make even our own places holy and gather together even from a distance to be as one community and one people. We continue with the words of Hine Matov, acknowledging the joy of gathering together. So please join with me. Hine Matov, Umanayim, Shevetachim, Gam Yachad. 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 How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine Matov, Umanayim, Shevetachim, Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Umanayim, Shevetachim, Gam Yachad. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine Matov, Umanayim, Shevetachim, Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Umanayim, Shevetachim, Gam Yachad. We continue with the lighting of the candles, and I'd like to invite Lena and her family to lead us in that.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher Kirshon B'mitzvotav, V'tzivanu L'chad B'knei Shabbat.
Amen. And Lena, I'm going to invite your parents to wrap their arms around you as they offer this blessing for our children and for everybody.
May God bless you and keep you. May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you. May God's presence be lifted up upon you, and may God grant you peace.
And Lena, if you'll raise your glass and lead us in the Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Keep going.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzah b'anu v'shabbat kodesh b'ahava u'ratzon kinhilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom tefillah l'mikrei kodesh zecher l'tzion mitzrayim ki banu v'charta Ve'otanu kidashta b'kol ha'amim v'shabbat kadshecha be'ahava u'ratzon kinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
Amen. We continue with words from Psalm 95. Sing out and rejoice.
Pene Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likrat kala. Pene Shabbat nekabela. Let's join together. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala. פני שבת נקבלה שמור וזכר בדיבור אחד השמיענו אל מיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ותפארת ולתהילה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לקראת שבת לכו ונחה כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה התעוררי התעוררי כי בהורק ומיורי אורי אורי שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה בואי בשלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובתועלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה צדיק כתמר יפרח יפרח צדיק כתמר יפרח צדיק כתמר יפרח יפרח צדיק כתמר יפרח כארז בלבנון יזכה כארז בלבנון יזכה כארז בלבנון נזקק כארז בלבנון יזקק כארז בלבנון יזקק כארז בלבנון יזקק צדיק כתמר יפרח יפרח צדיק כתמר יפרח צדיק כתמר יפרח יפרח צדיק כתמר יפרח כארז בלבנון יזכה 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 כארז בלבנון יזכה. Please join me if you're comfortable rising for the words of the Chatzi Kaddish as we turn towards the core part of our evening service. Yitkadav, Yitkadash Merabah, V'yalamad Ivrach Hiruteh, V'yamlich Malchuteh, B'chayachon, V'yomechon, Uv'chay Dechol Beit Yisrael, Bakala, Bakala, Uvizman Kari V'yimeru, Amen. Yehi Shemei Rabba Mevorach, Le'olam Le'al Me'al Maya, Yiparach, Yiparach, V'yishabach, V'yipar, V'yitromam, V'yitasei, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shemei Dekudesha, B'rechu Le'elam Ninko Berchata, V'shirata, Tushbechata, V'nechemata, Damiran V'yalma V'yimeru, Amen.
Joel Grishaber, a classic work. It's called Shema is for Real. In the introduction to the book, he talked about children at camp, and instead of the child saying Shema Yisrael, he said Shema is for real. And it's a wonderful introduction in very accessible ways to the service. And he called the Baruch Hu, the beginning of the service, like the beginning when a cheerleader gets the crowd going, in a sense saying, are you ready to pray? And we're ready to pray. And so on a deeper level though, the Baruch Hu says, we've set aside the busyness of what came before. We have the Psalms that we just did in Lecha Dodi, and now we're ready to open up our hearts and see the world through different eyes. Reminds me of one of my favorite students from when I was in New York. We'll call him Eddie. Names changed to protect the innocent. And when he was 4 years old, he was really tough. In nursery school, he bit another child through a coat and left teeth marks. But you know, by the time that Eddie got to high school, Eddie didn't need to show how tough he was anymore. And Eddie was our teen assistant who always came early to help me, who always reached out to a child with disability or in need. And I learned from Eddie and from others the idea today's behavior problem is tomorrow's leader. Being able to see not just the moment, but the wholeness of a person. We continue with Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai. So if you started with us right at the beginning of the service, you heard this melody. I think it's kind of haunting. And as we think about the evening and the wonders of the evening and the wonders of bringing in Shabbat, I hope it is evocative for you. Please join. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro mariv harabim v'chokhma poteach she'arim ובתבונה משנה עתים ומעדיף את הזמנים ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם פרקי הכרסונו יום ולילה גולל אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ולילה Adonai Tzvaot Shemo, Adonai Tzvaot Shemo, Adonai Tzvaot Shemo. El Chai v'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai HaMariv HaRavim.
You were God, and we were Israel, God alone and a lonely people long ago. You loved us, a great love. You taught us how to respond to you through mitzvot, recollections, celebrations, Torah. They are the light of our eyes, the uniqueness of our being, and the joy of them. They have drawn us close to you. And the truth of them, we have discovered you, the only one. We are together still. We respond to every people in your chosen way. With your love, you have chosen to respond to us. With our love, we offer you praise. Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. If you are still standing, you may be seated. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Adonai, you freed us from bondage in the land of Egypt. With courage, commitment, and in community, we crossed the sea and we rejoiced. We seek redemption again, Adonai, from the bondage of hatred, the slavery of poverty, and the evil of violence in our world. Give us the courage to toil for wisdom, justice, and understanding. May we rejoice again in community, giving voice to one another in peace and harmony. Sing the words of Micha Mocha. Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha nedar b'kodesh, Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha nedar b'kodesh. Morah Devo, Osei Peret, Morah Devo, Osei Peret, Adonai Shalom. Pick your favorite part. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from the storm. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Lena, we're going to invite you back up to lead us in Vishamru. Whenever you are ready, you can begin.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat va'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dodotam b'ri olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat va'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dodotam b'ri olam. B'ni b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dodotam b'ri olam. Kisei yamim asa Adonai, et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, v'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dodotam b'ri olam. V'yom hashvi'i Shabbat v'inafash, Shabbat v'inafash, Shabbat v'inafash. V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dodotam b'ri olam.
Yasher Koach, that was beautiful. Thank you so much for your leadership this morning. And I hope you continue not just tomorrow with your bat mitzvah service, which I know you'll do amazing with, but also throughout your continued time at Temple Sinai and in the Jewish community to be a leader for us and for your peers. Mazel Tov and Shabbat Shalom. Continue now with the Amidah.
Thank you, Lena. Mwah. What a taste of tomorrow. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi hagid tehillatcha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Yalalai, 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 join me in standing if that is your custom and you are comfortable doing so. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Gibor Hanora El Elyon Komel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר מושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים באמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. May join me in having a seat and also in this prayer for the day. We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat, which unites us in faith and hope, for Shabbat holiness, which inspires sacred living, for Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness, for Shabbat peace born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessing, O God. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
We join together. May I see the spark of holiness in all that I do. May the light of God guide me through darkness. May my prayers strengthen me, urging me to be present for those who are suffering. May I become a messenger of caring and compassion, a partner with God in the work of healing. May I be guided to fight injustice and to love peace and harmony. May God's blessing be with those who are in my heart as I utter this prayer. May all that is good in life lead me to passion and radiance. By your light, O God, may I see light. Baruch atah Adonai she'odcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod.
We continue together. Ancient One, open my heart to receive the blessings around me, kindness and wisdom, friendship and understanding, tenderness and compassion, moments of holiness, messages from heaven. Source and shelter, open my heart to bless others with the fullness of my being, with joy and thanksgiving, from a hope for healing and a pulse of love, to fill the world with benedictions. Rock and Redeemer, open my heart to welcome the blessings around me, a fountain of love to fill my soul with gratitude and courage, with wonder and peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha, u'lecha na'eh lehodot.
As we turn to Shalom Rav and ask for peace for us and all Israel and all the world, we also need to acknowledge that today is Transgender Day of Remembrance, a day when we think of all those who have lost their lives because someone thought that their identity, their gender identity was not appropriate, was not real, was something that should not be honored. And we ask for peace for all those who survive and struggle and walk this world, living who they are in their whole selves, and also hope for that wholeness and peace for those who are still finding it. I'd like to offer, before we begin Shalom Rav, a poem by Joy Layden, who is a professor and scholar in the Orthodox world, actually, who has written some beautiful poetry chronicling her experience as a transgender woman. I'm lost, lost in the beautiful world you fashioned, sweet and swollen, with pain and pleasure, cumin and frankincense burning on some altar, orange afternoon moon smoldering between smoke smudged birches, gorgeously, senselessly symbolizing your gorgeous, senseless transformation of battered matter into beauty beyond comprehension, noises in my head trembling in my limbs, spinning walls and trees, whispering promises you've whispered, hissing that you're still here, that the whirl in which I feel so lost is the whirl of the finger you offer me until I learn to see your face and live. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. We take a few moments now to offer the prayers of our hearts.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. V'imru, amen. A moment. So at this time in our service, we offer our thoughts, our prayers for healing, healing of body, healing of spirit, for anyone in our lives, our loved ones, for all of the world, which needs so much healing. Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov. Mishaberach imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. I invite you to add names to the chat. We've already had Jen Gross, Dr. Jane Seal, and Judy Wolfson added, along with Linda Burke, Susan Horn, Kara Snyder, Sheila Sittig, Lean Kretter. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Bless us with a vision for tomorrow. Help us to reach out to those in pain. May the warmth of friendship ease our sorrow. Give us courage, give us faith, show us the way. Avraham. Oops, sorry. We have a couple more names to add in the chat. Shelby, George Gurneth, and Kathy Lowry. Mishaberach avotenu, Mishaberach imotenu. Hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So there's a story about a man who's stranded on a desert island. And after many years, he was rescued. Before he left, he asked the rescuers if they'd like a tour of everything that he had built. So they went around the island. Here was a house, and here was his gym, and here a synagogue. Here are stables, here are stores of all kinds of things that he had set aside. And over here, another synagogue. They stopped and said, wait a second. There's a synagogue here and a synagogue here. And the man said, that synagogue, I'd never belong to that synagogue. So the story is reflective of a common dynamic in our lives. There are others that we may not stand or that we reject. It may feel even more prevalent now as we're approaching Thanksgiving season. It could be a synagogue, it could be a community, a group, a restaurant, or even a family member. I want nothing to do with them. And this is the theme of our Torah portion, the election of Jacob and the rejection of Esau. Jacob is favored by God and by his mother. For reasons that are not fully apparent in the text, Jacob is blessed even though he deceives Esau and cheats him out of his birthright and his blessing. Throughout the ages, Esau is often personified as the archetype of violence and unworthy to be the progenitor of the Jewish people. In our tradition, Esau is more than an individual. he becomes a symbol of all who want to destroy the Jewish people. And on an existential level, Esau represents the people and institutions in our lives that we deem wicked, uncaring, or corrupt. Think of it almost as a saga of the Old West. Esau seems like the paradigm, the good guy in the white hat. And there is the good guy in the white hat. And there's Esau, the bad guy in the black hat. Jacob triumphs over the evil of Esau. But is this fair? Was Esau really bad? Or was he the innocent victim of a conniving brother and a mother who rejected him? In our lives as well, is it healthy to treat people as either saint or sinner, with no room in between, no opportunity for redemption? Tonight, I want to confront this dilemma. Who was Esau? How can we restore faith with our sacred cousin of the Jewish people? Who was Esau? The rabbis were troubled by the Torah that the younger should supplant the older. And as a result, the rabbis portray Esau as the epitome of evil. Let me share a couple of examples. First, during Rebekah's pregnancy, and Rashi quotes the Midrash where it says, when Rebekah was pregnant and would pass the doors of the Torah Academy of Shev and Eber, Jacob struggled to come out. When she passed the doors of idolatry, Esau struggled to come out. It gets worse. When each child assumes a life path, Esau is the hunter and man of the field. And this runs counter to Israelite heroes, who almost always receive their call from God because they're shepherds. The scholar Nahum Sarna said, in the Near East, art often portrays kings and nobles in pursuit of game. No Israelite or Judean king or hero is ever mentioned as indulging in the sport. And in the most defamatory of ways, Esau is linked to the greatest enemy of our people. It's linked to Amalek. The tribe of Amalek attacked the Israelites when they were at Rephidim, just after leaving Egypt, when they were most vulnerable. And Esau and Amalek are descendants of Haman. It's identified the line of Esau Edom in the age of the Roman Empire when the temple was destroyed in the year 70. Edom was a code name of the rabbis for Rome. Rabbi Harvey Field says, they predicted that God will overthrow Edom and Rome, will throw them out of heaven. Edom and Rome will be destroyed in fire. But was this the real Esau? Or was this just an unfair litany of evil? My first teacher of Torah was Ed Whitman. He taught 8th grade when I was running camp retreats, when I was in college. He saw the humanity of this child who was deceived by his brother and tricked by his mother. The tale of Esau points to the quality, the nature of a person that may run counter to the way she or he is portrayed in society, the way that person could become a scapegoat for others' ills. In memory of Ed Whitman, let's examine the life of Esau. Was he really a wicked person? No. If we read the Torah closely, we come to appreciate his great humanity. In Genesis 27, when Isaac feels that he may be nearing death, he seeks out Esau to receive a blessing. As the chapter develops with the trickery of Jacob, and Jacob steals that blessing, Esau performs two acts of humanity. First, when he's pained because of what his brother did, he doesn't turn away from his father. He asked for Isaac's blessing. He still considers himself a part of the family. And at the end of the chapter, when Esau takes a wife, he knows that his mother and father don't want him to marry a Hittite woman. So out of loyalty to his parents, he takes a bride from the family of his uncle Laban. He still wants to earn his parents' love. The greatest moment of humanity comes in Genesis 33, when after 20 years, Jacob returns, comes back from Haran, and the brothers reunite. The Torah describes Esau's reaction as the two brothers are facing each other. It says Esau ran towards him, embraced him, fell on his neck, kissed him, and he wept. Imagine our own reactions if we were treated like Esau and met the sibling that betrayed us. Would we respond with a gesture of forgiveness and love? And even with the animosity of those younger years, when Isaac dies, the Torah says, Isaac died and was gathered to his people, old and fulfilled of days. His sons Esau and Jacob buried him. The retelling of the life of Esau is more than the writing of a historical wrong. It offers a lesson for our own lives to seek out the rest of the story. It's like my friend Eddie. It's easy for all of us to be blinded by what happens on the surface. But we can look deeper, ask the unanswered questions, and the untold stories. In our own day, we can seek the gifts and truths. 2,000 years ago, the rabbi saw an injustice, younger supplanting the older, but they didn't confront it truly. Through hundreds of years of persecution, is a story that brought comfort, an ancient enemy defeated. But in our own day, we see the gifts and truths of different people, of many faith traditions. We see the suffering of those vilified by others. And we need to pursue a path which affirms the dignity of all humanity. Let me close with an adaptation of a Sugiyah from the Talmud. A rabbi asked, how can we determine the first moment of dawn, the moment when night ends and day begins? The first student answered, when from a distance you can tell the difference between a dog and a sheep. No, the rabbi said. The second answered, we can see the difference between a fig tree and a grapevine. No, said the rabbi. Tell us, the students begged. The teacher answered, when you look into the face of another human being and see that that is your sister or brother, then day begins. Otherwise, it will always be night for you. One of the most gripping lines in the Torah is as Jacob is disguised and Isaac said, the hands are the hands of Esau, the voice is the voice of Jacob. As members of a holy community, that we have the blessing to affirm all of our gifts, hands, voice, and heart, to affirm the blessings of the divine. Shabbat Shalom. Announcements for this evening. Our musical program is made possible with a generous support by Edgar Snyder and an anonymous donor. Torah study is Saturday at 8:30, informal Shabbat service at 9:15. Lena will become bat mitzvah at 10:30, and there's Havdalah at 6:30. On Sunday, we have Together and Apart, the Future of the Jewish People, beginning at 9:15, and Breshit, the Singing Torah, at 10:30. Monday, I'll be leading an introduction to Jewish mysticism at 7. Our weekly parashah is Wednesday at noon, and evening meditation is Wednesday at 6. And have a safe, a happy Thanksgiving for everyone. So we now move on to birthday blessings. And this month, we honor the birthdays of Gloria Silberblatt Bodick, who was born on the 4th, Elizabeth Kalura, who was born on the 18th, Alan Lesgood, who was born on the 20th, Melvin Spokane, who was born on the 21st, Alan Bernstein, who was born on the 21st, Jay Silberblatt, who was born on the 23rd, Evan Klein, who was born on the 28th, Uncle Joe Winkle, who was born on the 29th, and Ann Jackson on the 29th. Are there others who are celebrating birthdays this month? The first one that I'm reading is Francie Brody and Jared Kaufman, who is 24, and Toby Chapman, who is 16. And offer this blessing. Mishaberach imotenu v'avotenu, our God and God of our mothers and fathers. Bless our friends as they're celebrating their birthdays this month. May they be blessed with good health and with well-being. May they be blessed with the joys that they share with their family and friends, the wonder of the world. May you continue to give them sharp minds and the curiosity to discover, and may they feel the light of your presence. Eternal God, inspire them, continue to do tzedakah and bring tikkun olam to our world. And may they always be blessed with the love of their family. Yivarechacha Adonai v'yishmerecha, may God bless you and keep you. Ye'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha, may God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom, may God's spirit lift you up. May God give you shalom. Amen. We continue with the Elena.
As you are comfortable, please rise in body or in spirit. Aleinu l'shabeach v'adon hakol, lateit gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, Lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, v'nemar, v'haya Adonai, lemelech al kol haaretz, v'yom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
This evening, we dedicate a memorial plaque. The memorial plaque is dedicated in loving memory of Aaron Dorfson. Aaron is called by all of his friends as a person who loved fun, who embraced life. He was an able attorney, a good person, and his spirit was truly a blessing. We think of the love he shared with his family, his friends, and his gifts to our community, and gifts to all he knew. In that spirit, we dedicate this plaque and we say, Yitzro Bitzra Chayim et Nishmato. May his soul be bound up in the bonds of everlasting life. Amen.
On this Shabbat, we also think of others who have died at this time in years past. We think of Irving Bachman, Leonard S. Baker, Louis Barbro, Estelle Baskin, Sandy Baskin, Rudolph Bauer, Suzanne Birkenfeld, Charlotte Bloom, Rebecca N. Bodek, Gertrude Bordoff, Mildred Cafasso, Harry Dolowski, Aaron Dorfson, Carol M. Dubar, Emma Elligator, Janet Temmie Feiner, Hannah Freilich, Sydney Freilich, Rita Gluckman, Elizabeth Golub, Harry Gomberg, Everett Green, Jack Hammerschmidt, Melvin Herzog, Sandy Michelle Kronzek, Barbara Schlesinger, Molly Leibovitz, Ruth Levitt, Bruin T. Littman, Ida Livstone, Samuel Margolis, Bertha Pervin Needleman, Jerry Paris, Muriel Mindib Paul, Julius Rosenson, Kenny Ross, Ruth Roth, Sylvia G. Sadwick, Edith Schwartz, Anna Servin, Joseph Shrinsky, Harriet Smith, Rose Smith, Frances Clara Tenenbaum, Molly Tannenbaum, Jesse Weintraub, Max Weintraub, Reva Weiss, Edward Witt, and Harry L. Witt. We also think of those in our community who are still in the days and weeks following the death of a loved one. In particular, we think of our Rabbi Daryl Crystal, whose mother, Helene Crystal, died within the past couple weeks. As we think of them, we say, Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. As we offer the words of the mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei rabbah, be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chay dechol beit Yisrael b'gala v'zman karev v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mivrach le'olam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei dekudasha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Ehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the one who creates peace on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all the world, to which we say, Amen. For our concluding song, we have Dor Vador.
As Rabbi Crystal said, may we look forward to the time when we see in the eyes of another someone familiar, someone we want to make familiar. May we see, as this song says, that each person is a gift and a blessing. We are gifts and we are blessings. We are history in song. We are hope and we are healing. We are learning to be strong. We are words and we are stories. We are pictures of the past. We are carriers of wisdom not the first and not the last. Please join. Ledor vador nagid God lecha. Ledor vador, we protect this chain from generation to generation. Ledor vador, these lips will praise your name. Looking back on the journey that we carry in our hearts, from the shadow of the mountains to the waters that would part. We are blessed and we are holy, we are children of your way, and the words that bring us meaning we will have the strength to say. Ledor vador nagid God lecha. Ledor vador, we protect this chain from generation to generation. Ledor vador, these lips will praise your name. Ledor vador, these lips will praise your name. And may your Shabbat be one full of praise from generation to generation.
In Pirkei Avot,
Hello, everyone.
in Pirkei Avot, we learn these words. Acquire a friend, get yourself a teacher, and when you judge people, judge them by their best merits. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Nice to see you.